We're watching for the potential of some strong to severe storms today, of course, but right now, no watches, no warnings in North Texas. We do have tornado watches for areas to our east. This would be East Texas, parts of Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, parts of eastern Oklahoma. But nowhere in our viewing area right now underneath a tornado watch at the moment. Not much is going on. We have a cap in place. If you're new to North Texas, that cap, what is the cap? The cap is a warm air layer aloft that we get all the time here in North Texas. And what does that do? It suppresses thunderstorm development. So we got to wait for the cap to break. So far, that has not happened today in North Texas. It has broken across areas to the east, to the northeast. That's why tornado watches are in place for anywhere from southeastern Kansas all the way through central Louisiana. But as I mentioned, not in North Texas right now. Here's where the storms are. A few tornado warnings in Louisiana at the moment. Some storms really blowing up there in eastern Oklahoma. But here in North Texas, things are fairly quiet. We've had a couple little attempts at some thunderstorms across northern areas. But I mean, look at these things just fizzle out. Not able to overcome the cap. I mean, there was one lightning strike north of Sherman. Otherwise, this activity's just had a really tough time forming so far. So DFW is quiet, staying quiet for the time being, but we're watching and waiting to see if there's any weakness in that cap, to see if any of those attempts at thunderstorms happen to occur over the next several hours. Now, as time goes on, the chances for a storm to try and develop in and around the DFW area will dwindle. I think for at least DFW, we have another maybe 1 hour to maybe an hour and a half for a chance for any of these storms to form. Otherwise, then the chances will move over into areas east of DFW and eastern North Texas the remainder of the afternoon into the evening hours, more so this evening and into tonight. We can show that on the timecast here. So here's 5 o'clock. Not much going on in and around DFW, but you see showers and storms trying to blow up across East Texas. That will continue 6, 7 o'clock this evening. Lots of activity out that way. But what we will be watching is that when the main cold front moves through, there could be a quick little skinny line of showers and storms that tries to move through DFW, say 9 to midnight or so. That round, the threats with that round, maybe a little wind, maybe a little hail, but as far as overall severe weather is concerned, it would be on the lower side compared to any of those isolated storms that have the potential of developing the remainder of the day today. There goes that activity. By tomorrow morning, we are dry and will be a little cooler behind that cold front. It is nowhere close to an Arctic blast, but it will be a little cooler than the 70s, which we've seen over the last couple of days. So it's a 1 to 2 on a scale of 5 for DFW. That's basically just in case an isolated storm tries to develop here over the next 1 to 2 hours or so. It's a higher threat of severe weather for eastern North Texas over to East Texas. Remember, that's more so this evening and into tonight, where those storms likely to be a little bit more numerous. Hail, wind, and a tornado threat potentially out that way. More so where there's that tornado watch located at the moment, which is East Texas and over in the Arklatex. It's not impossible that a watch gets issued for part of our area at some point the remainder of the afternoon into the evening, but that has not happened right now. Temperatures in the 50s behind the fronts, 52 in Amarillo. I saw some 90s down near the Rio Grande Valley at the moment, so it's very warm for the early part of January. It's 70, was at 78 in DFW right now. By tomorrow morning, we'll be in the range of 40s to 50s to upper 50s, depending on where you are behind that cold front. And then tomorrow afternoon, still above normal by about 10 degrees, but definitely not in the 70s like we've seen over the last several days or so. It's about 65, 66 across Fort Worth to Dallas tomorrow, and no rain in the forecast tomorrow. Then it's a little cooler Wednesday and Thursday, back closer to normal. Remember, the normal high is 56, be about 58, 57 on Wednesday and Thursday. Back up into the 60s Friday and Saturday, but another front may roll in on Sunday to cool us back down into the 50s. So any storms tonight will come to a close. Remember, we have that kind of window between 9 to midnight for maybe a quick round of thunderstorms. Then it'll be breezy and cooler the rest of the night, 52 for that low. Tomorrow, dry, cooler, and breezy. No storms in the forecast, 66 for the high tomorrow afternoon. We talked about the rest of the week as far as those temperatures down in the 50s. There may be a little rain around this weekend, but I'm not overly concerned about it at this point. Definitely not concerned with severe weather with that. There may just be a little shower activity around this weekend. And then next week, temperatures continue in the 60s. So up and down a little bit, but no, really strong cold fronts, no Arctic blasts, no freezes really either, at least in DFW. There's a couple days with those lows down into the 30s. I mean, we might have some areas outside of DFW hitting freezing, but not in DFW. So we're starting to fall behind again for the number of freezes that we typically have in a season.